And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. March 17, 1872 started out like any other day in the mining camp of Gold Hill, Nevada. Then suddenly, that most dreaded of all sounds, the fire whistle. Rescuers are bringing men up from the blazing depths of the Eureka Mine as we take you into our story of Big Liz.
Got it, watch it, step up. That's it. Easy there.
Of them.
Is he burned?
No, just smoked. All he needs is a little fresh air. What a little runt. You must be hard up for help in that mine.
He's a new man. Just came over from Silver City.
Oh. Well, you won't have to replace him for a little while anyway.
Ain't you gonna wait till he comes to?
What for?
So he can thank you. Took a lot of nerve volunteering to go down in that shaft. Especially your being a woman.
When people are in trouble, being a woman ain't no different than being a man.
Say, mister, would you tell me which one of these shacks belongs to Big... Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I thought you were mister. Would you be Big Liz?
I would.
Gosh. Well, I'm the fella that you dragged out of that mine last night. And I came to thank you.
No need to thank me. You just happened to be the first one I stumbled over.
Oh, but just the same, you did save my life. And I wanted to give you a little token of my gratitude.
What is it?
Well, open it and see. It ain't very much, but I thought maybe you could use it when you sort of dress up.
I don't sort of dress up.
Oh, well, what I really meant was when you ain't wearing them duds.
I'm a prospector. I'm doing a man's work, so I wear a man's clothes.
Oh, well, that puts a different complexion on things. What size breeches do you wear?
Huh?
Oh, nothing personal, ma'am. I just meant, I thought maybe I could trade it in for a pair of breeches. Your size.
No, thank you kindly. I kind of think maybe I might keep this. Been so long since anybody gave me a present. It's kind of nice to get one, even if I ain't got any use for it. Would you like to sit a spell and have a glass of water or a cup of coffee?
Oh, yeah, that would be very nice, if it's not too much trouble.
If it was too much trouble, I wouldn't ask you.
No, sir. No more working underground for me. That fire last night was the third one I've been in, and I've had my belly... I've had my fill. I'm getting me a job in the fresh air and sunshine.
Got anything in mind?
Not yet, but I'll find something.
How about teaming up with me? Prospector.
With you?
Yeah. I'm getting kind of tired talking to myself and eating my own victuals. A woman prospector's kind of limited when it comes to teaming up. There ain't any other women worth their salt. And the men, they kind of get ideas. I could handle you. Well, I don't think it'd be necessary.
But, I don't know anything about prospecting.
Well, here's a chance to earn while you learn. I'll furnish the grub and equipment and give you 25% of what we find. How about it?
Well,
Good. Get out of here now and pack your things. We're going to leave at daylight. Oh, what's your name?
Scrubs. Alfred Scrubs. But everybody calls me Scrubby.
Scrubby? Sure fits you. Scrubby.
That bacon sure smells good. There's nothing like a good walk to make a man feel hungry. How long you been a prospector, Liz?
Close on to 15 years.
How come you took it up?
Well, I had to make a living.
Yeah, you could have opened a boarding house or a restaurant or something.
Too many people.
How come you hate people, Liz?
I don't hate them. I just ain't got any use for them, that's all. Most of them, anyway.
Especially men. How come you hate men, Liz?
Just full of questions, ain't you? Now put your food where your mouth is and let me eat in peace.
Liz! 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 Look, it's the real thing this time. Gold! Gold! Gold, Liz! Look at it glitter! Fool's gold again.
Fool's gold again.
I guess I'm the fella they named that fool's gold after, Liz. I ain't never gonna make no prospector. I ain't gonna bring you no luck either.
Ah, shucks, don't get so discouraged. Why, a week ago you couldn't even walk.
Yeah, but I ain't doing you no good, Liz. All I do is eat your grub and make your disposition worse than it was looking after me.
But I like looking after you.
You do?
But try and learn a little faster. Just beats me how anybody can live so long and know so little.
Sometimes I wonder about that myself, Liz.
Smoke bother you?
It is a little strong.
Well, I spilled this tobacco on the horse blanket. I guess I got some hair in it.
Speaking of hair, Liz, how did you used to wear yours when you was a woman?
Ah, lots of different ways. I think the way I liked it best was parted in the middle, and I had two coils right down here at my... Hey, what are you asking me that for?
I was just thinking.
That kind of thinking don't come under the head of prospecting.
I'll bet you were a real good-looking gal.
I wasn't the worst looking.
Did you ever have a hankering to put on dresses again?
I never give it a thought.
I'll bet you'd still be real handsome. You know, when we get back to town, I'm going to buy you a dress.
You ain't going to do no such a thing, and stop getting so personal. I don't pry into your past.
Oh, I ain't got no past.
And you ain't going to have no future if you don't mind your own business. Now go to bed. Hit me with that hunk of... where did you find this?
Oh, wait now. I didn't say it was gold. I just threw it away.
Where did you find it?
Why, right up there. Is this what gold ore looks like?
Oh, no, this is silver ore. Why, I'll bet this will last, say, better than any silver ore they found in these parts of years. We've hit it. Scrubby, we've hit it!
Liz.
Oh, excuse me. I got so excited, I just forgot who I was.
Yes, sir, fellas. As soon as I picked up that chunk of ore, I knew it was the real thing. But I didn't say anything. No, sir. I just rolled it down the hill so Big Liz would find it. And when she spotted it, she got so excited she almost split a seam. Scrubby, she said, we've got it. And you know something? She was right. That mining syndicate is paying us almost $100,000.
I suppose you and Liz will get married now, huh?
Well, we ain't never talked about that. Of course, I wouldn't have no objections if she'd take off them pants. Both of us wearing them wouldn't be so good. Set them up again, Rusty. I'll pay you as soon as Liz gets in on that 3 o'clock stage from San Francisco. Gosh almighty, it's 3 o'clock now. Didn't Liz come in with you?
I sure did.
Say, Liz, are you something? I didn't know you without your pants on.
I still got 'em on. You just can't see 'em, that's all.
For gosh sakes, you're not going to wear them both.
I figured it was better until I got used to skirts again.
Oh. Did you put over the deal?
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
How much did you get?
100,000 even. 25,000 is in Wells Fargo Bank in your name.
Oh, gosh, Liz.
Let's go in and wash the dust out of my throat.
Wait a minute, Liz. You can't go in there.
Since when?
Since you became a lady. You've got to use the family entrance.
I plumb forgot there was one.
Hey, fellas, look at Liz.
Well, I'll swear.
Bust out some champagne, Rusty. This calls for fancy drinking.
Sure thing.
Well, here's to you, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth? Why, I haven't been called Elizabeth in years.
Well, nobody's going to call you anything else from now on. Fellas, to Elizabeth.
Say, I'd like to join you in a toast to the lady, if I may. To Elizabeth.
Liz.
Apparently the shock of seeing me after 15 years was too much for my wife.
Your wife? You're married to Liz?
To death do us part, as the minister says. It wasn't very polite of you, Elizabeth, walking out on your friends that way. They're liable to get the impression that you weren't glad to see me.
If there was any doubt in your mind, I wasn't.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm really very happy to see you. I can't tell you how pleased I was. I read that article in the Denver paper.
Especially the part about striking it rich.
Yes, I've wondered what became of you. Many times.
Yeah, every time you were broke.
Same old Elizabeth. But it's good to be back together again. This time I'm going to stick.
As long as it's worth your while.
Now, the first thing we're going to do is go on a second honeymoon.
Second?
And we'll buy a nice little house in Denver, or Frisco if you prefer. Servants, horses, carriage, all the comforts. Yes, sir, this time we're going to make a go of our marriage. Like we're supposed to. Work and share together.
I work and you share. All right. I'll give you your share right now. $10,000 if you'll clear out.
10,000? According to law, I'm entitled to half of what you got from that sale. And according to the bombastic bragging of your pipsqueak partner, you have in the neighborhood of 75,000.
All right. I'll give you half.
Depriving myself of your companionship should be worth at least another 25.
Would you put that in writing?
Anytime, any place.
It's a deal.
No, no, Liz, you can't do it.
Well, it seems your little partner was listening.
You ain't gonna get a bit of her money. She's gotta keep it so she won't have to go on working.
Between the two, I prefer to work. I'll meet you at my lawyer's office first thing in the morning.
The price has just gone up 20,000.
I haven't got that much.
He has.
No, the deal is off. You ain't going to get none of his money.
Well, I'd think it over if I were you. I'm offering you both a good proposition. Oh, don't wait up for me, Elizabeth. I'll probably stay at the Silver Nugget.
Why do you put up with him, Liz?
Oh, he's my lawful husband. Though he never was a husband to me.
You can get a divorce.
No, I tried it once. He was too smart for me. I couldn't prove nothing on him. Oh, I just can't see no way out of this mess, Grubby.
Received a message at the hotel saying that you had something of interest for me.
That's right. I got a business proposition. Come inside.
you little...
Look out! I got a very nervous trigger finger.
What's the idea?
I said I had a business proposition for you. All you gotta do is sign that paper.
I'll sign nothing.
You ain't getting out of here until you've signed that paper setting her free.
All right. We'll just sit here.
I haven't got the patience. There's a keg of blasting powder under that table. Either you sign that paper, or I'll light the fuse and blow you to kingdom come.
What happens to you?
I go with you.
You haven't got the guts.
I have for Liz.
I don't think so.
The paper's right in front of you. You've got less than a minute to change your mind.
So have you.
Time's getting short.
You'll put it out.
I heard that you was here. What are you doing with that gun? What in the name of common sense? Now, what's this all about?
He was trying to scare me into sign away my rights.
You were gonna blow the two of you up?
Yeah, that was the idea.
He wouldn't have gone through with it. He hasn't the nerve.
Well, I have. Keep him covered, Scrubby. The three of us will sit this one out. We might just as well go up and smoke as the way we are.
I'll sign.
Well, make it fast. That was a good joke, Scrubby. You sure had him fooled, using that empty powder keg. But you didn't fool me.
Oh, it's not empty. It's the real thing, look.
Real thing?
Liz! Oh. Oh, Liz, are you all right?
What happened?
You fainted.
I did.
You sure did. And I guess that proves who's the best man.
It sure does, Scrubby.
And Scrubby was right. From that time on, he wore the pants of the family. And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. Have you ever met anybody by the name of Bottle? B-O-T-T-L-E? Well, you're about to. William C. Bottle, known familiarly as Bill to his friends in the mining camp of Darwin near Death Valley. You're going to meet him and a raft of his relatives on the occasion of Bill Bottle's birthday. And this is the young lady whose name Bill would like to change to Mrs. Bottle, if he could just get up his courage to ask her.
Well,
I happened to be passing by and thought I'd say howdy.
well, come in.
Is it all right, my digging clothes?
Oh, I only draw the line at burros. I was just totting up my accounts. You know, I always said the first year I made $2,500, clear that is, I'd change my sign from dressmaker to modiste. But I don't know. You think that sounds kind of highfalutin, Bill?
Have you really cleared that much this year? Gosh. That's 4 times what I've earned.
With you, it's different. A prospector doesn't have steady business.
I'll say you don't. That's why most of them stay single.
Well, there's always a chance of striking it rich. And when that happens, the world will be your oyster.
I don't care much for oysters.
Well, whatever it is you want, you'll get it.
Provided some other man ain't already grabbed her.
Oh. So that's it.
I'm 35 years old. I got a birthday coming up in a couple of months, and if I'm ever gonna get married, it should be now. But I just gotta have something to offer a wife.
Money isn't everything, Bill.
Depends on who's got it.
I'm sure a girl would wait for you if she knew you loved her.
She don't.
Why don't you tell her?
The way things are, it just ain't feasible. Well, I just dropped in to say howdy.
Oh, stay, Bill, and let me make you some coffee.
I'm heading out again tomorrow. I gotta start packing my outfit. Madge.
Madge Daly, you fool. Bragging about how much you made. He was all set to propose.
We've struck it! Paid it, old girl! Bill Bottle's hit it at last!
Hey, Phil! What's this I hear about you being in the chips?
Yes, that's right. I sold my claim to a San Francisco syndicate for cash.
How much? Not that I'm curious.
$100,000.
100,000? Baron Rothschild himself.
I might even take a trip to Europe to meet the old boy. Who knows? Anything's possible now. Madge!
Bill! Why, I hardly recognized you. You look so grand.
Oh, this.
Just a ready-made suit I picked up in Frisco. The tailor-mades are being shipped down.
Be seeing you later, Bill.
Oh, at the Shoe Fly. I'm setting them up.
Oh, fine.
So your dream has come true, Bill.
Yes, I'm sitting right on top of the heap. Bank balance is 6 figures. And like somebody once said, the world is my oyster.
It was I who said it.
And you know, the first thing I did after I closed the deal, went over to the Poodle Dog Cafe and ordered me 2 dozen of them on a half shell. Oysters.
But I thought you didn't like oysters.
And what do I find in one of them but a pearl? Just goes to show you. Them as has gets.
And now I suppose the next thing you plan to do...
Celebrate. The boys are waiting inside there now.
Oh.
Otherwise, I'd be happy to see you home. Well, don't work too hard now.
Quiet, quiet. To Bill Bottle, the greatest guy in the 7 deserts.
It's a man's best friend, a bottle. Where'd you get that name, Bill?
My folks, of course.
Didn't know you had any folks.
What'd you think? The stork brought me? Hid me under a cabbage leaf? Ah, sure I got folks.
He was a bottle baby.
I haven't seen any of them since I was a kid. My father and mother both died. Left home when I was only 12.
Just a half-pint bottle, huh?
I don't see anything so funny in the name Bottle. Bottle is an ancient and honorable name. I'm proud of it.
And they all ought to be proud of you, Bill.
It's a Bill's birthday.
Hey, it's 6 weeks off yet.
He'll throw a big party.
Yeah. Yeah, that I will. A family party. I'll round up all my relatives.
Where are they?
I don't know. All over.
How would you locate him?
Put a notice in the paper.
What paper?
All the big city papers. Frisco, Denver, Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C.
You think there might be a bottle in the Senate?
There might. The Bottles are a fine old family. Make no mistake about that. I'll invite them all to come here to Darwin at my expense. Take over the Bonanza Hotel, lock, stock, and barrel, and I can afford it.
Be a joke on you if none of them showed up.
They'll come. You wait and see. To the Bottle family reunion.
To the bottle.
Good evening.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Crispin.
Well, who were you expecting? My wife told me to come by and pick up her new dress.
I'm just taking out the last bastings and we'll be all ready. Are they still celebrating?
No, the party broke up. Bill had to go home and write a notice for the newspapers.
What notice?
He's planning a big blowout on his birthday.
October the 19th.
Yeah, but you're not invited, and neither am I. Nobody in Darwin's invited. This is going to be strictly en famille.
What do you mean?
Bill's putting a notice in all the leading newspapers in the USA, inviting all his relatives, anybody by the name of Bottle, to come to Darwin at his expense. And he's going to put them up at the hotel. Then he's going to throw a real ring-ding-bang of a banquet with champagne and everything. What do you think of that?
Why, really takes my breath away.
Well, I'll tell you what I think, what the rest of the boys think. We think that Mr. William C. Bottle has suddenly got himself a bit of a big head since he came into that $100,000. His old friends aren't good enough anymore to celebrate his birthday with. He's got to go dig up his long-lost fancy relatives.
Are they fancy?
Why, there was a Bottle came over in the Mayflower. There's Boston Back Bay Bottles, Philadelphia Bottles, Virginia Bottles.
No idea he was so well connected.
Well, he kept it kind of dark while he was poor, but now he wants to show off.
Well, I suppose it's only natural. I mean, blood is thicker than water.
You don't have to be so blamed exclusive.
Here's your wife's dress.
After all, money isn't everything.
It all depends on who's got it, as someone once remarked. This is a surprise. I was beginning to think I'd never see you again.
Well, I've been so busy the past few days.
I know.
Oh, you've heard about my birthday party.
It's talk of the town.
I put a notice in all these papers.
You'll be swamped.
Oh, no, Bottle isn't so common. Not like Smith or Jones.
Or Daly.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is...
How do you know a lot of Smiths and Joneses and Dailies won't read this notice and pass themselves off as Bartles?
Oh, they've got to produce evidence they're related.
A copy of the family crest?
Or something. Now, you're making fun of me.
Oh, no. Indeed, I'm not. I think the whole thing is perfectly wonderful, Bill.
It's a lot of relatives I'll be meeting all at once. I'm counting on you to help me out.
Me?
I want you to receive with me. Sit beside me at the head of the table.
Oh, but I thought this was to be strictly a family affair.
It is.
All Bartles.
By birth or by marriage.
Bill.
Will you, Madge?
Are you by any chance proposing to me?
I know it's kind of sudden.
Sudden? After 2 years?
But I thought, with this big party coming off and all these guests arriving, a man in my position needs a wife.
It would be a convenience.
Sure would. I just got to get me one. I didn't mean it that way. Gosh, I'm making a botch of this.
I think you are.
Madge, I love you. Ever since I first saw you. You want me to get down on my knees and ask you?
No, don't. There are pins on the floor.
You're right. Madge, will you marry me?
Maybe I better wait till I've met your family.
Oh, they'll like you.
You think so?
And I can tell you one thing. There won't be a better dressed woman among them. Even if you do make your own clothes.
Give me a little more time, Bill, to think it over.
Well, all right. But don't take too long about it. The 19th isn't so far off. And by now, that notice is already in the hands of some of my relatives. I've had 17 acceptances so far from all over the United States.
Well, we can take care of as many as come. Pack 'em in.
No 3 in a bed now. Not the bottles. They're used to the best. And I want clean sheets.
You'll have 'em.
The banquet will be on the night of the 19th.
6 courses.
I understand Delmonico's in New York serves 10.
With toothpicks, this will be 7.
Well, all right. Champagne's been ordered. It'll really flow.
You want brandy for the gentlemen?
And cigars, the 50-cent kind. I guess that's all for now. I'll keep you posted as to numbers. Just one regret so far from a cousin in Oregon. He's got an appointment on that date that just can't be broken unless the governor sees fit.
The governor?
Oh, the bottles move in high society, believe me. Just look at some of these credentials. Here's one from Ambrose Bottle, one of the Washington bottles. This is estate.
Why, it must take a dozen gardeners.
And he says this is only his summer home. Here's another picture. Do you recognize him?
A racehorse?
Ran in the Kentucky Derby last year. And who's that holding him? Sylvester Bottle. Some of these aren't so interesting, just diagrams of the family tree proving relationship. But here's one.
The Tabor Grand Opera House, Denver. You have an opera singer in the family?
Her name's Crystal.
Crystal Bottle. How pretty.
I'm hoping she'll sing for us at the banquet. Madge, you and I'll be traveling in fast company.
Bill, I'm not coming to the banquet.
Oh, now, Madge.
No, I mean it. I'm honored that you asked me out of all the folks in Darwin.
You're the only one I care about.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to make up your mind now about marrying me, Madge. You can wait till later. But come to the dinner anyway, just as my guest, please.
I wouldn't belong. The company's too fast for me. A mining camp dressmaker, I'd be a fish out of water. It's your family, Bill. And I don't blame you for bragging about them. But you entertain them. Alone.
So, this is the great day when the clan gathers.
That's right.
Where's the red carpet?
Here comes the stage.
Henry, stand back. All of you.
What's the matter? Can't we breathe the same air?
Mr. William C. Bottle?
Yes?
I'm your cousin Ambrose from our nation's capital.
The senator?
Welcome to Darwin.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Mr. Bottle, I presume.
Yes?
I'm your little cousin, Crystal, from Denver.
The Rocky Mountain Canary.
You go to blazes. Charmed to be here.
Mr. Bottle, it's a pleasure. Sylvester Bottle from the Kavanaugh Stud Farms.
Did you ever see such a collection in your life?
Deadbeats and floozies.
Look, a Chinaman.
You, Mr. Bottle, William?
Yes.
Me, Mr. Bottle, Thomas. What? Very proud to meet you.
Are you sure? Thomas Y. Bottle, Nob Hill, San Francisco.
A Chinese bottle.
You make mistake?
No mistake. You're very welcome, Thomas.
Thank you.
I'm sure you must all be tired after your journey. Won't you step inside and make yourselves at home?
It isn't commonly known, but the president comes to me quite often for advice.
Very good food.
Beg your pardon, sir.
Oh, that's all right.
You should come to Denver sometime, Cousin Bill.
Oh, very pretty cake.
Ah, that's for me.
Oh, it's
That's what I like.
Oh.
Lovely. Well.
For
he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
Speech!
This is the first birthday party I've spent with any of my family since I was a kid. I know we all get homesick now and then for our own flesh and blood. That's why I ask you here. I certainly appreciate your coming here. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. I'd like to propose a toast to the Bottle family. Wherever they are, whoever they are.
My friends, this food tonight should have choked me. This liquor should have strangled me. For I have no right to be here. I am not a bottle. I am a faker, an imposter, a pretender, a humbug. I invented my genealogy, forged my credentials, and had every intention to further take advantage of my host, who I regarded as a sucker. But, my friends, I was wrong. Bill Bottle is a thoroughbred, one of nature's noblemen. And if I had any wish in this world tonight, it would be that I could claim relationship to him.
Hey, Bill! Happy birthday!
I'd like to say something. Before anyone yells, get the hook. I want to say that this is the most wonderful party I ever attended. Well, I've had it pretty rough all my life. Been kicked around plenty. But this is the first time I can remember when I was made to feel as good as anybody. A regular lady. I wish I didn't ever have to go back.
I'm a fake, too.
Please. Thomas Whitebottle make speech, too. Me no born Thomas Whitebottle. Me houseboy for Mr. Thomas Whitebottle. Take his name. Mr. Thomas Whitebottle, president of Bank San Francisco. Live in big house in Up Hill. Own horses, carriages, steam yacht. Wife with diamonds and sealskin coat. Thomas Whitebottle, great man. But not so great as our Mr. Bottle. Our Mr. Bottle have something greatest of all. A great heart.
Hooray! Hooray! Blow out the candles on your cake, Bill.
Well, make a wish.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill. Make a wish.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
Well, where are you heading?
Out.
Quitting town, huh? Well, I should think you would. The laughing stock of Darwin. You know, if I were you, the next town I settled in, I'd change my name. News travels fast.
Oh, Bill! My ankle, I've twisted it.
Here, let me help you into the store.
Oh, no, I'd rather go home. If you just give me an arm, I think I can hobble that far.
You don't think it's broken?
No, just a bad sprain.
I'll go get the doctor.
Oh, Bill, no.
You really ought to have it bandaged before it starts swelling.
Wait.
But his office is right on my way. I can send him back.
Bill, please.
Madge, your ankle.
There's nothing the matter with my ankle. I only pretended. I just wanted a chance to see you.
Why? To rub it in?
Bill, last time you were in this room, you asked me to marry you.
And you were smart. You said you'd better wait until you'd seen my relatives.
And now I've seen them.
Lucky escape for you, all right.
You mean the offer doesn't hold anymore?
Madge, I know I acted like a fool about my relatives.
Until they actually turned up. Then you were magnificent.
Magnificent?
Oh, Bill, I was so proud of you. You received them as though you were really glad to see them. You made them welcome.
Well, gosh, I'd invited them.
That's just what I mean.
And I'm not apologizing for them now. They were a funny lot, I grant you.
Like all relatives.
But most of them were better than they looked.
I'm sorry now I didn't get a chance to meet them. My future in-laws.
Madge. Madge! You mean...
But do I have to get down on my knees and ask you? There are pins on the floor.
You're willing to become a bottle?
As long as it's Mrs. William C. Bottle. You're the only one that matters, darling.
How soon will you marry me?
Oh, right away. Before you see any of my relatives.
And the moral of this story is, the Lord gave us our relatives, but thank the Lord we could choose our own wives and husbands. And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. This is the story of one of the most celebrated highwaymen of the California Gold Rush. His real name was Charles E. Bowles, but he's gone down in history as Black Bart, the P.O.8. It is a late afternoon in the spring of 1875. The stage from Sonora to Milton is making its daily run.
It's only me, Charlie Bowles. I was just playing a joke on you. I wanted to ride. Well, I'll be blessed. He didn't even recognize me. He thought I was a bona fide road agent with a real gun. More than $2,000 in treasure here. $2,000 in the space of 2 minutes. Well, that's more than I'd make in 2 years of teaching school. Something tells me I've been following the wrong profession. Time Professor Bowles gave up teaching the 3 R's for a 4th R. Robbery.
How do you do?
Good day, madam. I was wondering if...
Yes?
Forgive me. To be confronted by so attractive a lady has left me momentarily speechless. I'm looking for a place to live. I wonder if you could accommodate me.
Won't you come in?
Yes. This will suit me admirably. Nice, quiet neighborhood, too.
Convenient to your business?
Well, as a matter of fact, my business is largely on the road.
Oh, you travel a great deal.
Yes, mining interests. I should have a card here somewhere. Well, anyway, the name is Charles E. Bolton.
You could supply references.
References?
It's merely a formality. A widow in my position has to be very particular.
Well, I don't drink intoxicants, if that's any recommendation. I'm neat in my habits and retire early. And besides, I should be more than happy to pay you 3 months' rent in advance.
Why, Mr. Bolton, how very generous of you.
I may consider myself in residence, then?
Oh, charmingly you express yourself.
Express is my middle name.
I see you have a sense of humor, too.
Dear lady, if it weren't for my love of a practical joke, I'd never be where I am today.
He's a perfect gentleman, the loveliest manners. How old would you say? 45-ish. Oh, a very suitable age. Suitable? Now, Cleo Lufkin, don't you start getting any romantic notions.
Well, why not? He obviously has means.
You really ought to be ashamed of yourself. The poor man's been here hardly long enough to unpack his valise. Well, you know the saying. Every Jill. Oh, Mr. Bolton. I hope you're finding everything comfortable.
Quite, dear lady. Now, if you can recommend a good restaurant in the neighborhood?
There's the Poodle Dog Cafe down on Montgomery Street. The food there is said to be excellent.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, to success.
Success? Fill him up again, bartender. You're just in time, stranger. Another drink, bartender.
Oh, no, thank you, sir. I just dropped in for a bite to eat. I'm an abstainer.
So am I, when I'm on a job. But tonight, the boss and I are celebrating.
Oh? And we have plenty to celebrate, because Big Jack Davis has been caught at last.
A stage robber?
Yep, he's been leading us a merry chase for 5 years.
But Wells Fargo gets them all, sooner or later.
Oh, you gentlemen are with Wells Fargo.
Yeah, that's right. Mr. James Hume, chief detective for the company.
Mr. John Thacker, my right bower.
My name is Bolton, sir.
Glad to know you.
The pleasure is mine.
Say, we're ready to eat, too. How about dining together, sir?
I'd be honored, sir. Will you be seated, gentlemen? Keep them covered, boys. Be ready with both barrels.
Here's the box.
Thank you, sir. Now your gun, too, if you please. Thank you. My men and I won't trouble your passengers. Kindly proceed.
Get in. Get out.
Well done, men.
Now I lay me down to sleep, to wait the coming morrow. Perhaps success, perhaps defeat, an everlasting sorrow. I've labored long and hard for bread, for honor and for riches. But on my corns too long you tread, you folks in fancy breeches. Let come what will, I'll take it on. My condition can't be worse. And if there's money in that box, it's money in my purse. Black Bart, the P08.
What does the P08 mean? Is that his post office box number?
No, it's a pun. It stands for poet.
Poet?
Yes. P.O. Poe. 8 et poet.
Quite a stretch of the imagination, if you ask me.
The stage driver said he had 4 men with him?
Yes, he counted their heads behind the boulder.
An outlaw with 4 men. A flair for poetry, a sense of humor. He shouldn't be too hard to catch.
You know, I wish I could wear checks, but I don't know. I just look better in plain things. Oh, Mr. Bolton. Did you have a good trip?
Very, thank you. But it's good to be home again.
Mercy, that valise looks heavy.
Yes. Mining samples.
Mining samples. Why, my first husband was an assayer. He taught me quite a lot about ore. I'd love to see them.
Well, I'd love to show them to you, but they're underneath all my soiled clothing. By the way, do you know a good laundry in the neighborhood?
Oh, yes, indeed. You just leave your wash out and I'll take it down tomorrow for you.
I'd just like to trouble you.
It's a pleasure, Mr. Bolton.
You're very kind.
Good morning, Chang.
Good morning.
I have some wash here for one of my lodgers, Mr. Bolton. I want you to do a very good job on his linens.
Chang all the time do a good job.
I want this to be extra special. Mr. Bolton is a real gentleman.
Me wash them clean. Come in 1 week.
Thank you, Chang.
Let come what will, I'll take it on. My condition can't be worse. And if there's money in that box, it's money in my purse. Black Bart, the P.O. 8. Well, what do you think of that?
Not bad. He's a clever fellow.
No education. He spelled money wrong. M-U-N-N-Y.
What? Well, I'll be blessed. Well, he obviously was writing under stress.
Well, he'll be able to write at leisure once we get our hands on him.
For at least 2 years.
Well, how do you go about tracking down such a criminal?
First, we offer a reward. This notice will be posted all over the state.
Oh. $600 reward. Wells Fargo and Company will pay for the arrest and conviction of Black Bart, the P.O. 8.
A body isn't safe traveling anywhere anymore. I know. I really worry about Mr. Bolton being on the road so much.
By the way, how you making out with Mr. Bolton?
Why, Cleo Lufkin, whatever do you mean?
With Nona Webb, you know perfectly well what I mean.
This makes 4 holdups in as many months. And each time a bit of impotent poetry left behind in the express box.
What do you propose?
Raise the ante.
Again? It's already up to $5,000.
Up it to 8.
$12,000 reward.
But you'd think somebody'd be able to identify him.
You heard his latest poem? No. I'll start out tomorrow with another empty sack. From Wells Fargo, I'll borrow, but I'll never pay it back. Oh, good morning, Mr. Hume.
Oh, Mrs. Webb was just quoting.
I know. I have a complete collection of the poet's works.
Where does this bandit hide out, Mr. Hume? He must have some place.
The person that can answer that question, Mrs. Webb, will be $12,000 richer.
This is my way to get money and bread. You notice how much he emphasizes bread? When I've a chance, why should I refuse it? I'll not need either when I'm dead. And I only tax those who are able to lose it.
Meaning Wells Fargo.
Mm-hmm. So blame me not for what I've done. I don't deserve your curses. And if for some cause I must be hung, let it be for my verses.
His meter is terrible.
But his timing is perfect.
We're gradually piecing together a description of the man.
Oh?
He's at medium height. He weighs about 175 pounds. He's very polite.
Doesn't drink any intoxicating liquors.
But he's a great coffee addict.
Well, he'd need some stimulant. Oh, waiter, will you please bring some more coffee?
Wells Fargo outsmarted you this time, Bart.
Yes, I know. The box is bolted onto the stage. So if you'll kindly unhitch your horses and lead them up the road a piece, I'll be able to work more expeditiously.
Black Bart.
Let me have a try. I think I nicked him.
You winged him all right. There's blood on this cuff.
Must have flipped it off when the bullet hit him.
Laundry mark. FX 07.
Laundries in mining camps don't use marks like this. It must be a laundry here in San Francisco.
Now, I'll make the rounds of the city and report back to you.
FX07. Sure, I make this mark.
Well, who's it belong to?
Ah, nice gentleman. Long-time chain customer.
What's his name?
Mr. Bolton.
Do you know where he lives?
You leave cuff here, I wash him clean.
No. I want to talk to him.
Him come in soon.
How soon?
Him just get back from trip. Say he bring laundry today.
Well, in that case, I'll wait.
So you do as I say. It's the only way you'll ever land him. Oh, here he comes now. I'll run along. Oh, Mr. Bolton.
Mrs. Webb?
There's something that I feel I must say to you.
Yes?
It's not easy. You've lived here for so long.
Very happily. Is there something wrong?
I don't quite know how to tell you.
Oh, you have to raise the rent. That's quite all right.
It's worse than that. I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to give up your room.
Leave? Why?
People are talking
About me?
about us.
Oh.
Of course, it's all untrue and perfectly silly, but a woman in my position can't afford to be compromised.
I understand.
And so, I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to move.
unless... Well, this is all so sudden, Mrs. Webb. Give me a little time to think it over, won't you?
Of course.
Everything's going to be all right. For both of us. Hello, Chang.
Hello, Mr. Bolton.
Can you have these finished for me by next Monday? I'm leaving on another business trip that night for the Southern Mines.
Chang, have ready, Mr. Bolton.
I take it you're a mining man, sir.
Well, I'm familiar with precious metals.
Well, I'm just back from Montana, where I ran across one of the most unusual deposits in all my experience.
Oh? What was it?
Well, I'm not sure. I brought back some samples. Would you be willing to take a look at them, sir?
I?
Well, my office is just up the street, and I'd really appreciate an expert opinion.
Why, certainly, sir.
You forget to tell about Cuff.
Cuff? What was that, Chang?
He was talking to me. Not too much starch in the cuffs, Chang. I like 'em soft.
Oh.
I hope you don't mind coming in the back door.
Oh, certainly not.
Gentlemen, this is Mr. C.E. Bolton.
Bolton? Well, Mr. Hume, what are you doing here?
This happens to be my office.
You said you wanted me to look at some samples.
I do. This, which you lost, I believe, on November 3rd over in Calaveras County. There is also a shotgun and some tools Mr. Hume has been keeping for you. A hammer and a chisel.
You mean you or Black Bart?
All you have to do is look at the laundry mark on his other cuff.
It's true, gentlemen.
You staged all those holdups?
Without once firing a shot. My gun was never loaded, you see.
Well, I'll be confounded.
Well, you certainly made fools of us, Mr. Bolton.
Bowles is the name.
It doesn't matter. From now on, you'll have just a number.
Ah, a new pair of cuffs.
Compliments of Wells Fargo. We'll stop at your lodgings on our way to jail and let you pick up your things.
You're very considerate, sir.
Why, Mr. Bolton, you're packing.
Yes, I'm leaving, Mrs. Webb, for good.
Oh, no, you mustn't.
I have no choice, dear lady.
I didn't mean to drive you away. There's no hurry.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of staying another moment under the circumstances.
You made me feel perfectly terrible.
It isn't your fault, dear lady. It's just the ways of society.
I hope I'll see you again.
There'll always be visiting days. Goodbye, Winona.
Where?
Well, I don't know. I've only seen the headlines. It was discovered today that the celebrated poet bandit was a quiet, well-mannered ex-schoolteacher named Bowles who had been residing at a respectable rooming house under the name of Charles Bolton.
Charles Bolton.
His identity was lured through the laundry mark on the cuff, which... Winona!
And that was the end of Black Bart's career. He served 6 years in San Quentin prison, and soon afterward disappeared forever. As for Mrs. Webb, I understand she did eventually marry again. And if I'm not mistaken, it was a Wells Fargo man. And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. Turn the clock back to May 1850. Set the thermometer at 97 degrees in the swarming, dust-choked camp of Sacramento, and we're ready for the story of California's first Iceman. Among the passengers just arrived on the steamer Oregon this sweltering day is young Peter Jeffries of Boston, come out to retrieve his family's fortunes.
Hey, which way you going? Well, Peter Jeffrey.
Hello, Mr. Colby.
So, you've got the gold fever too, have you? Welcome to California. Well, how'd you travel? Overland?
Around the Horn. Worked my passage.
Did your brother come with you?
Bob? No, he's back in Boston. We couldn't both of us leave my mother.
No.
Under the circumstances.
No, I suppose not. Unfortunate, your father's death.
But hardly surprising.
Oh, I don't know. Men of his age have failed in business before.
My father didn't fail, Mr. Colby. He was ruined.
Well, it amounts to the same thing.
That all depends on where you sit.
Oh, I have no doubt your father blamed me for several of his difficulties. But the fact is, Peter, he wasn't a very good businessman. Oh, honest as daylight.
And loyal.
But no imagination. You've got to have imagination to succeed. How do you think I've established myself here in so short a time? By figuring out what people want and can pay for. Say, see here, how'd you like to work for me?
For you?
I'll be glad to give you a job.
Thank you, Mr. Colby, but I think I'll look around.
All right. Look around. What do you see? I own pretty nearly the whole town.
You don't happen to own a hotel, do you?
The Colby House, right across the street. You think over this offer of mine now, unless you want to try your luck up at the diggings.
No, I think I'd rather get into some kind of business.
You're smart. You know, it's a lot easier to take gold out of a man's pocket than get it out of the ground.
You should know, Mr. Colby.
Huh. Chip off the old block.
Here, let me.
I think his leg's broken.
It's a wonder he wasn't killed.
If I could just get him back to my house.
Oh, I'll carry him for you.
You're very kind.
Easy, fella. I'll try not to hurt you. That's a good boy. I never saw anyone more expert. Where'd you learn to put on a splint?
Watching our family doctor once, and then practicing on my dolls.
Worth it. Breaking a leg, isn't it, fella?
I've always wanted to be a nurse, but Uncle Phineas won't hear of it.
Uncle Phineas?
Mm-hmm, my guardian.
Phineas Colby?
What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. It's a stifling day, isn't it?
Wait till the real midsummer weather hits us. They say it's terrible up at the diggings.
Well, that makes a third good reason for staying right here.
What are the other two?
Business opportunities.
Yes, and?
Good day, Miss Colby. Thanks for introducing us.
Yes, thanks, old fella. I wish you'd speak to these teamsters of yours, Uncle Phineas. They have no regard for life or limb.
I'm paying them to make time.
At the risk of killing people?
It was only a dog, my dear.
But tomorrow it might be a child. This man was driving like the devil was after him.
You know what that team was hauling?
I didn't even look.
Snow.
Snow?
Yeah, from the high Sierras.
What for?
The thing men's tongues are hanging out for. Cold drinks. Bert Lawler of the Magnolia Saloon will take all I can deliver at $900 a ton.
Well, that's fantastic.
Sure it is. I'm going to make a fortune.
$900 a ton for snow.
Give me a beer. Warm 2 bits, cold $2. Cold one.
One whiskey highball.
$5.
$5? All right. It's highway robbery.
But, man, it's sure good and hits the spot.
We work our fingers to the bone digging gold, and then these godgers take it away from us. $5 slush.
You could drink it without.
In all this heat when your hide's cracking?
What's yours gonna be, stranger? The same.
A greenback. You must have just arrived.
Today.
Where from?
Boston.
I'm from Springfield.
Well, shake. My name's Peter Jeffries.
I'm Steve Griswold, and this is Hank Lewis.
To Massachusetts.
Where snow is free. Gosh, I wish I had $1 for every shovelful I've dug.
Or snowball I've thrown. It's not the same as ice.
Nah, it makes your whiskey watery.
And there's no sound to it. That's half the pleasure of a cold drink. A tinkle of ice.
For that, they'd charge you $10 out here, if there was any ice, which there ain't.
Well, there must be frozen lakes up in the Sierras.
Buried under 20, 30 feet of snow, his snow.
What do you mean, his snow? Nobody's got a monopoly on snow.
He owns all the wagons, all the teams to haul it, got the teamsters under contract.
Oh, I see.
Can you remember as a kid hooking rides on the back of an ice wagon?
Sure.
And the Iceman chasing us off saying he'd report us to the company? Seems like a long ways off.
15,000 miles around the Horn.
Well, have another drink on me.
Thanks, but there's a letter I want to get off tonight.
To your girl?
My brother, in Boston. Glad to meet you. Don't say I'm crazy, Bob. If ice will keep in Boston ice houses all summer, it should keep in holds of ships. And will be worth its weight in gold out here. Borrow the necessary capital for the first shipment. But act fast. The hot weather has already hit Sacramento. We can recoup the family fortune together. You at that end, and I here. Good afternoon, Miss Colby.
Oh, Mr. I never did learn your name the other day.
Peter Jeffries.
Let me take your things. Come in.
I just stopped by to inquire about the dog.
He's doing beautifully. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get rid of him.
He knows a good thing when he sees it.
Oh, Uncle Phineas. This is the young man I was telling you about, who was so kind.
Hello, Peter.
Good afternoon, Mr. Colby.
You've already met?
The first day he was here. Before that, in Boston.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
I just didn't get around to it.
Well, young man, have you decided what you're going to do yet?
Yes, sir.
Good. I thought you'd see the light.
I'm going up to the diggings.
You are? Why?
It seems a good idea.
You mean you don't want to work for me? You can't find anything else around here, is that it? You're a fool, Peter. Stiff-necked, no imagination. Your father all over.
Let's leave my father out of this, sir.
All right. Go up to the diggings. Break your back with a pick and shovel. Break your heart washing gravel. I thought I was doing you a favor. I'm going over to Magnolia. Arrange for another shipment of snow.
Blast these mosquitoes.
What do you say we call it a day?
Yeah, day wasted.
Don't get discouraged now.
It beats me how two fellas mining side by side can have such different luck. Oh, not that I've regret you a single ounce of dust, Steve, but it just doesn't make sense.
What you need is a long, cold drink. Come on, let's head for the Magnolia.
Well, I have no money to blow on Colby frappes. But I'll go to town with you anyway and see if there's any mail for me. I'm expecting a letter from my brother. Miss Colby.
Well, it's been a long time.
Let me carry this for you.
It's some food I'm taking to a woman that's sick.
Always looking for someone to nurse.
I don't have to look very far these days. Sacramento's full of fever.
So I've heard. This is my first trip down.
I hope you're making out well in the gold fields.
Not very. In fact, not well at all.
But you're going to stick it out.
Until my ship comes in.
Some people wait all their lives for that, Mr. Jeffries.
You trying to discourage me?
I do think it was short-sighted of you not to accept my uncle's offer.
Still in the snow business, I see.
Yes, the wagons come down twice a week.
Tons of frozen assets.
I'll relieve you of that now, Mr. Jeffries. Thank you.
My regards to the Snow King.
Hi, did you get your letter?
No. I can't understand it. I thought sure I'd hear by now.
Well, drown your sorrows.
What'll it be? The same.
$7.
$7? It was $5 the last time I was in here.
Well, it's gone up to $7 now.
Why?
Because the price of snow's gone up, that's...
I won't pay it. You buzzards. Picking these fellas clean. You ought to be shot.
If you don't like it, get out of here.
I'm going to. See you up at the digging, Steve.
It falleth as a gentle dew from heaven above.
Will you do something for me, Uncle Phineas?
What do you want?
A load of snow.
Load of snow? What for?
The sick.
My dear Laura.
The fever's spreading all over town, Uncle Phineas. Folks burning up with it. If they could just have some snow packs to relieve their suffering.
Do you realize what snow is worth?
Can't you think of anything but money, Uncle Phineas?
Now, Laura, dear, you're overwrought. I think you should give up this fool idea of nursing everybody.
How can I, when people are dying all around me?
There's always sickness in gold camps. Sacramento is no exception.
Oh, you're heartless, callous, cold as snow yourself. Colder. Snow at least melts.
Flying Cloud made it in 80 days from New York. That was a record, of course. Took our ship 3 months from Boston.
What are you talking about?
Trip around the Horn. My brother got my letter in June. I'm beginning to wonder if he did. And here it is the end of August. 27th, isn't it? Steve? Steve! What's the matter?
Sick.
Fever.
I know. You're burning up. Oh, dear God, if only I had some ice.
Pesthold. That's what this town is. Only way a man can keep going is to keep drinking. Give me another one. $10. Here, take it all. You better have it as well as the undertaker.
Here comes another wagon load of snow. Hey, young lady, what are you doing? You have no right to that snow. It belongs to me.
It belongs to my uncle.
Oh, you're Miss Colton. Well, he's selling it to me, and I'm paying him $1,500 for it.
$1,800. Laura, get away from that wagon. What kind of behavior is this? You have no right to that snow.
That's what I told her.
Now, you put it back pronto. It's our snow.
It's God's snow, and I'm using it in his name. Now, get out of my way before it all melts.
Miss Colby. Well, here, let me help you.
Oh, thank you.
Where are you taking this?
Right here to Pioneer Hall. We've turned it into sort of a hospital.
Things are pretty bad down here, I understand.
Perfectly terrible.
It reached the diggings, too. Steve Griswold was hit by it. Dropped right in his tracks.
Did he pull through?
More by good luck than good nursing. We sure long for you.
There's so little even I can do. If I only had some ice with which to fight this fever. Oh, this is better than nothing. And I had to steal this. But what I need is real ice, and lots of it.
I sympathize with you, Miss Colby. There's nothing in the world I'd like to see myself right now, and a whole shipload of ice.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jeffries.
What in heaven's name has happened? Couldn't you raise the money for the first shipment? It's been 5 months now, and not a word. The heat here will soon break, and I'm already broke. Two bits left. Just enough to buy a stamp for this letter.
In all my life, I never saw men go for liquor like this.
You've never lived through an epidemic before. They're panicked.
You just keep the snow coming, Mr. Colby.
Bert, if instead of just one wagon load arriving, what would you say if a whole wagon train load of snow pulled in here?
I say we'd make a killing.
Then you'd better get ready, because it's on its way.
Colby, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I've commandeered everything on 4 wheels, and every 4-legged critter that can pull them. I've hired teamsters at double pay, and a crew of shovelers. I've sent along an armed guard to protect them, because we've got to go all the way up to Echo Summit, 7,000 feet to get snow now.
Must cost you a fortune.
I'll get it back. This snow's going to sell for $2,000 a ton.
$1 a pound?
You can collect it from those suckers there. You know, they'll pay anything as long as they're afraid for their lives.
You have got nerve.
Just takes imagination, like I told that young upstart, Peter Jeffries. Well, I'm going to run up by horseback in the morning and see how things are going.
I'll be waiting for you, partner.
Peter! Merchantman from Boston just docked. She's got a consignment aboard for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Where is she?
Trent Street, foot of K. The captain said ice. He must have meant rice.
One at a time, folks. There's plenty to go around. At fair prices. What's more, from now on, every ship out of Boston will be carrying ice to California.
May I buy a cake of ice, please?
Not for me, Miss Colby.
Well, I'll pay whatever you're charging.
Well, for you, there is no charge. You're welcome to all the ice you need for the sick.
Oh, Mr. Jeffries, thank you.
Steve, 1 cake of ice for Miss Colby.
Hail the conquering hero. The wagon train's on the way down from the mountains. $20,000 worth of snow. Bert, you're going to make more money. Was that ice?
That was ice.
Where'd it come from?
Boston.
Boston? What are you talking about?
A whole shipload just docked. Consigned to Peter Jeffries.
Jeffries?
The young man with no imagination. Everybody in Sacramento was down there buying from him.
But our snow.
Who's going to want snow when they can get ice?
I've sunk a fortune in that wagon train. All my profits from the past summer. I'm ruined.
How about a drink? There's plenty of room at the bar.
Real cold.
Listen to that, will you? Real honest to gosh ice. Here's to Peter Jeffries, California's first Iceman. Hooray!
There hasn't been such excitement since gold was discovered. Why, you could have charged any price and got away with it.
I'm not your Uncle Phineas. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, that's all right. At this point, I'm not very proud myself of the name Colby.
If you'd like to change it, it could be easily arranged. Laura, look at me. Will you?
Are you asking me to marry you?
I love you, Laura.
I scarcely know you. All I know is that you're a nice man.
Did you say a nice man?
The nicest man I've ever met.
So that leaves Phineas Colby, the former Snow King, and his sidekick Bill Lawler watching from the doorway of the Magnolia Saloon as their ill-gotten profits melt inexorably away. And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. On a December day in 1846, a covered wagon train creaks slowly into the Santa Clara Valley and halts near the Guadalupe River. The long overland journey is over. Dr. Isbell and his party have reached California safely, a California in which gold has not yet been discovered, a California still under the flag of Mexico. Now, these settlers have brought with them their wives, their children, and their household goods. With them also, though nobody realizes it, they have brought California's first school mom. This was to have been their last encampment before going their various ways. But Dr. Isbell has news that changes all that.
This trouble between the United States and Mexico is far more serious than reports have led us to believe. Serious enough to make every able-bodied man in this party feel that he should volunteer at once.
You mean go fight? But what's going to happen to us?
Women and children will stay right here.
Alone?
It's the safest place we can leave you.
That's all very well for you to say, Mr. McPherson. You're not a married man.
Can I help you, Mrs. Isbell?
Oh, thank you, Vicky. I'm just making sure my husband's buttons are all on tight.
You and every other wife in camp.
Oh, you might look over these socks.
Did Dr. Isbell really mean what he said about our not leaving camp while the men are gone?
He couldn't have made it much clearer. But don't worry, our food will hold out.
Well, I'm thinking about my drawing materials. I'm down to my last sheet of paper and just a stub of a crayon.
Well, you'll just have to possess your soul in patience.
I didn't want to come to California in the first place. I wanted to stay back east and study art. Papa insisted.
Well, you were all he had, dear. He couldn't foresee that he'd never live to the end of the journey.
Parents are so selfish about children.
You'll understand when you have children of your own.
Thank you. I don't intend to have any.
Vicky, no marriage is complete without children.
Well, who said anything about getting married?
Of course you'll marry.
I'm going to be an artist.
Wait till you fall in love.
With whom? I don't see any prospects around here.
Well, keep looking.
I'm not that interested.
A career is all very fine, Vicky, but it can't take the place of marriage and the joys of motherhood.
That's the belfry! Ethan Bullock, don't you dare! I found him in the old mission hanging from an arch. Well, take it away, nasty creature. Boo! Want to see him fly? No! Is it gone? Okay.
Yes.
Little monsters.
Well, boys will be boys.
Oh, you can have the joys of motherhood. I'll stick to my sketchbook.
Who's it meant to be?
Oh, just a man.
Handsome devil.
Of all the conceit.
Don't tell me it's me.
You just happen to be in my line of vision.
You used up your last bit of crayon on me? Why aren't you over there at the meeting?
Oh, it's more for families. I have nobody leaving tomorrow that I care about.
That's too bad.
I think I'm very fortunate.
You do?
Please.
What do you want it for?
So I can draw something else on the back. Goodbye, Mac.
Goodbye, Vicky.
What I said last night about being fortunate.
Oh, I understood. I think I'm fortunate, too. The girl I matter most to is going with me. My horse.
Bye. Bye, Henry.
I have it. Bye-bye, Mary.
Bye, Joe. Please be careful.
There, that's the last.
What a relief not to have all those heavy overalls.
Oh, I kind of miss them.
Oh, Miss Isbell. Oh, I could rip the hides off all of them. Brats.
Something's got to be done with those children. They need occupation.
They might try doing the wash.
Oh, it's a strain living herded together like this in wagons. If they were back home, they'd be going to school. School? That's what we need.
Where is there any school in this wilderness?
We'll start one. I taught before I was married. I'd be glad to take charge. We could use one of the wagons.
No, not enough room. But there's a nice place in front of the old mission.
No, but then we have no school supplies. No blackboards or slates, no pencils and paper.
If we could find pieces of wood, like shingles, they could ride on those like the Indians.
Right with what? Anyway, there are no shingles around here.
You'll just have to teach them by rote. Let them repeat out loud after you.
No, they can't learn to read that way, Vicky. They've got to see the letters.
Charcoal! That's what we write with.
But what can we write on?
Our hands.
Oh, Vicky. Children? Ethan, take off your hat. Jimmy, sit down.
Come on,
Jimmy, sit down.
There's a blanket for you to sit on, Dee Dee. Right here.
I don't wanna.
You're going to have to learn to do what Miss Isbell asks you to.
Then can I sit by Mrs. Isabel? I want to sit by teacher.
That's all right by me. Spoiled brat.
That will do, Ethan. How many of you can write the letters of the alphabet? That's fine. We'll start with the letter A. Vicky will show you how to write it. Now we're going to give each of you a piece of charcoal, and I want you to make the same mark on your hands. Is everybody finished?
Yes.
Oh, that's very good. Now we'll...
You didn't see mine.
That's very good, Dee Dee. Now we'll clean our hands and try the letter B.
He got my dress all dirty. He got my dress all dirty.
Ethan, I'm ashamed of you. You go over there and stand in that arch with your back turned, and don't you come back until I tell you you can. Now we'll try the letter B. Vicky will show you. That's the letter B. Now see if each of you can make one as nice and neat as Vicky's.
Miss Isbell!
Ethan, I don't want one word out of you.
But Miss Isbell, can't you ever behave?
Well, children, now you know the letter B. B is for bear.
I don't know how their mothers stand them. One day with them at school and I'm beat. B-E-A-T.
You'll get used to it.
Look, I'm not going on, Mrs. Isbell. I just couldn't take it.
But I need you, Vicky.
Miss Isbell.
Oh, hello, Evelina.
Miss Isbell, I came to tell you I'm taking Dee Dee out of school.
But you can't do that. It would disrupt the whole class just as we've got started.
Why do you want to take her out?
She tells me that dreadful Bullock boy let a wild bear into the school, and Vicky used Dee Dee for a shield when the bear charged. Why, that's an outrageous fib. My Dee Dee does not tell untruths. Your Dee Dee is an unmitigated...
Please, Vicky. I'll handle this. Evelina, the plain fact is that while a bear did get into the school today, he was really more scared than the children, and he turned tail and fled.
Mrs. Isbell chased him with a burning stick. That's why he fled.
Oh, I didn't understand.
Maybe even she saved Dee Dee's life.
Oh, for goodness sakes, I never thought of that.
Dee Dee has a wonderful imagination, Evelina.
You think so?
She needs to be in school, so we can get that imagination working in the right direction.
She's very talented, isn't she?
Yes, she is. And you owe it to her to give her a chance to develop her talents in school.
Well, there's something in what you say. I'll bring her back again tomorrow, but only if you give her your personal attention, Miss Isbell.
We'll do our best.
Thank you. See you in the morning.
Miss Isbell, I'll keep on at the school if you really need me.
Thank you, dear.
I think I'll enjoy helping you beat some truth into that dimpled little darling. 3 and 2.
5.
6 and 1.
7.
Spell cat.
C.
A. T. You have to raise it just a little more, Vicky. There, hold it right there. There, now, ease it down. Easy. Easy. There, that'll do it.
Go ahead and swear. Why, Vicky, it'd be good to hear some choice male cuss words around here again.
I know what you mean. I get just plain lonesome for the sound of men's voices. It's been a long time since they went away.
4 months.
Put this away, will you, Vicky?
Max.
Yes, it's Max. James let him leave his stuff in our wagon since he had none of his own.
M-A-C. Oh, I guess I've got spelling on the brain. Miss Isbell, what would happen to us if Mexico won the war?
Well, that's highly unlikely.
Would they come here and seize us?
Of course not.
Well, we are Americanos, alone and unprotected.
Now, nobody's bothered us so far, Vicky, and nobody's going to. So you put any such ideas out of your head. What do you want? We have no food to give away. No food.
Pues no hay carne, no hay frijoles, pues no sirve para nada.
No está bueno.
What do we do? I don't know.
Who are these men?
Don't you dare touch her.
Nina D'Oro.
You get out of here! Vamos!
Scusa, signora. No offendi.
Vamos! You heard me? Get out! Get! Vamos!
It's all right, darling.
Vicky.
They've gone away.
Ethan got rid of them. Ethan, that was very brave of you.
Oh, shucks. I guess we've got a man with us after all.
Well, for 2 cents, I'd have let them have it. Both barrels.
Senoras. My men frighten you, see?
What do you want?
I'll bring a letter. Senora Isbell.
I'm Mrs. Isbell.
Oh.
It's from James.
Oh, this too.
Oh, Vicky, this is for you.
Me?
Oh, Vicky, how pretty.
Sencillos, muy bellas.
Who they from? There's no name.
Our men are coming back. They've been discharged. They'll be here in a couple of weeks. Now, we've all got to buckle down and work like beavers. So we'll be all ready to show your fathers how much we've learned while they've been away. I'm going to try you on some good hard words today. Do you all have your charcoal?
Yes, ma'am.
California.
C-A-L. California.
Oh, James, why don't you ask Mr. McPherson to share our meal tonight, him being alone?
Well, Mac isn't here. He found a place down on the San Benito River where he's going to settle.
So he's left the party.
Oh, we'll all be breaking up in a couple of days anyway, going our separate ways.
Yes. I suppose it wouldn't be worth his while to come all the way back here.
Hi. Oh, hello, Ethan. Dr. Isbell asked me to come over and help him pack some stuff. He'll be back directly. You suppose there's any schools in Yerba Buena? That's where my folks are going.
Oh, I don't believe there are American schools anywhere in California yet.
Where are you going from here, Vicky?
Oh, with the Isbells, I suppose, to Monterey. They've sort of adopted me.
Why don't you get married?
Takes two for that.
How about him?
Who?
Him.
Oh, that's just a sketch I made up.
It's Mac.
Do you really think it looks like him?
Uh-huh. You're a good artist, Vicky. Would you like to marry him?
He's not coming back, Ethan.
If he did, would you?
I won't even be here.
Well, if you was...
The teacher's supposed to ask the questions, Ethan.
Hey, this says Mac.
Oh, yes, that belongs to McPherson. Put it with his other stuff.
Just leave it here?
Well, he'll be by to pick it up
When?
tomorrow.
He will?
Yes, he's riding up from San Benito.
Are you sure?
That's what he told me.
Well...
And when the exercises are over at the very end, we'll line the children up and have them spell, "School is out."
I can't wait to see what their parents think of their progress. I just hope they do well.
Now, you mustn't prompt them. Remember, you have a tendency to want to make things a little easy for them.
I have?
It's perfectly natural. That's the mother instinct in you, whether you know it or not.
I'll go get the charcoal ready.
You have seen here today what the children have learned in the way of reading and writing and arithmetic. Now, I want to give credit where credit is due. Vicki? I could never have run this school without Vicki. She's been wonderful. It was her idea that we use our hands to write on, since we had no blackboards or slates or paper. She has shown imagination and patience, and hasn't hesitated on occasion to apply the palm of that same hand where it would do the most good. Vicky, take a bow. And now, as the last number on our program, children, the three sweetest words in the English language to the ears of children. Children. Vicky loves Matt. Children, school is out. School is out.
Wonderful the way things work out, isn't it? And if you want to see where California's first schoolma'am held forth, visit the old ruins of the Santa Clara Mission on the campus of the University of Santa Clara at Santa Clara, California. And now, Death Valley Days. Howdy, folks. I'm the Old Ranger, and I have another interesting true story for you about the historic Death Valley country. This is the story of a fabulous ride, the most remarkable ride in our nation's history. And because it took place in California at the time of the Mexican War in 1846, I call it California's Paul Revere. The American forces have captured the Pueblo of Los Angeles from the Californians, and the main command of the American Army has moved north to the capital at Monterey. They left a small garrison at Los Angeles in charge of Marine Officer Lieutenant A.H. Gillespie. And now, as our story opens, the Angelinos have risen up and attacked the Americans, forcing them to take refuge at Fort Hill.
Hold your fire! Are you hurt?
Never even touched me.
What did you learn?
The enemy army is growing by the hour. Must have 1,000 men now.
How well are they armed?
A little bit of everything. Rifles, shotguns, lances. They're bringing up some light artillery. They brought it. They hold the whole town except this hill. They're boasting they'll have that in a matter of hours.
That's where they're wrong. We can hold out here for days. Sure, for weeks. Don't be a fool, Benton. You know as well as I do we're trapped. 40 men against 1,000. You wouldn't surrender, sir. Who said anything about surrendering? All right, men. Give them blazes. No use beating around the bush. We can't get reinforcements. We're done for. They'll keep on pounding away at us. We'll run out of food and ammunition, or we're killed. But our own lives aren't what matter most. If we lose this Pueblo of Los Angeles, we lose our only foothold in Southern California. Change the whole course of the war. I'm telling you this because I'm going to call for a volunteer. A volunteer to go for help. Commodore Stockton's in Monterey. If we can get word to him, he'll send troops.
Monterey? Why, that's more than 300 miles from here.
300 miles of enemy territory. The chances of a messenger getting through are slim. But that's our only hope.
I'll go, sir.
I'll go. Who was that spoke first?
Juan Flaco.
John Brown.
Well, which is it?
Juan Flaco's my nickname, sir. Means Lean John.
I remember now. You joined us the night of the uprising.
Just happened to be in town from a hunting trip. I'm a trained soldier, sir. You'd better send me. I've hunted and trapped all through these mountains. I know the back trails, the shortcuts, places to hide.
All right, then we'll both go. No, one life's enough to risk.
You've a wife and child. I've got nobody.
That settles it. Brown, you make the ride. Brown, you'll need some sort of credentials to help you get fresh mounts along the way.
The less I carry on me in the way of dispatches, the better.
It's only a sentence. You can destroy it quickly if you're captured.
Believe the bear. Lieutenant A.H. Gillespie.
I stamped it with my signet ring.
Thank you, sir.
Hang on to that. It's your passport. It's starting to get light. You better be on your way. Once you're through the picket lines, you've got a good chance.
I'll get through.
This is September the 24th.
I ought to make Monterey in a week.
God grant you will. We'll try to hold out here.
They'll get him. He'll never make it.
Yeah, he's through the line. He's headed for the Cuenca Pass.
It is Juan Flaco.
Mexicano?
No, you fool, Americano. After lost him. The devil.
I've checked the ammunition supply.
Well?
At the rate we're using it, sir, it won't last the week.
Order the men not to waste a single shot.
Yes, sir. You had a bad fall. You can't go any further. Oh, boy. Believe the bearer, Lieutenant A.H. Gillespie.
Alto!
Buenos dias.
You are Americano?
Juan Flaco, they call me.
One cannot be too careful about strangers these days.
I'm on my way to Los Angeles to join Pico's forces.
It is true they have seized the pueblo from the Americanos?
They've driven them out like rats. Got them trapped on a hill, completely surrounded.
Rats, see?
Worse than rats, the gringo pigs.
Skunks.
Weasels. And I want to be in on the kill. That's why I rode so fast. Too fast. My horse gave out on me.
You can take one of mine.
Amigo.
I'm only too glad to serve the cause.
¡Viva México!
Muerte a los americanos. Come, I will help you. You know the way?
I can find it.
Turn right up the hill and you'll pick up the road to Los Angeles. You should be there by dark.
1,000 thanks, senor.
For 1 peso, I would go with you.
Leave your ranch to the mercy of the Americanos?
You are right, senor. Vaya con Dios.
Gracias.
Senor, you're heading wrong. You're going north. Caramba! I'll get you for this, you Greenland swindler!
Benton was a good soldier.
He said he'd rather die than surrender.
Will none of us surrender?
Lieutenant, we may have to, the way things are going. Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
We'll bury Benton later on tonight, when there's a lull in the firing.
Yes, sir.
This is the 26th of September. Brown's been gone 2 days now. Not even halfway to Monterey.
How do we know he's on his way at all? How do we know if he got beyond Cahuenga Pass?
I've got you covered. Come out of there.
A Yankee.
Howdy. What are you running away from? The law?
I'm not running from. I'm running to. I got to be on my way.
Just a minute. That horse looks mighty familiar.
It was given to me.
Yeah?
I settled down the road. Jim Robbins.
Jim Robbins. Jim never gave away nothing in his life. You're turning around and riding back with me, stranger. Unless you want to be hung up as a horse thief.
Read this.
Believe the bearer, Lieutenant A.H. Gillespie?
In command of the American garrison at Los Angeles. The Mexicans have attacked, taken over the town. Gillespie and his men are holding out at Fort Hill, but they can't last long. I'm on my way to Monterey to get help from Commodore Stockton.
I'll go with you. I know this country north of here. Know the folks that are friendly will give us horses.
Good, that'll save time, and every hour counts.
My name's Tom Lewis.
John Brown, mostly called Juan Flaco. Let's go.
Just ahead. If I live to make it. We can stay there tonight.
I'm only stopping long enough to change horses. There's too much at stake.
I'm just as good an American as you are. But gosh almighty, I am human. I'm about done for. I've got to get some sleep.
You've been a big help along this stretch, Lewis. Thanks.
You telling me to drop out?
I'm not going to be slowed down by anything or anybody. So long.
Monterey's more than 125 miles from here. You'll never last out at that pace.
You're on a shoe, eh? That's bad. Well, we'll both have to walk, fella. That's your horse?
Si.
Mine went lame. I must get to Monterey. Will you let me take yours?
My horse in exchange for a lame one?
Just a loose shoe?
Then find a blacksmith.
I haven't got time. I must be off at once. Give me your horse.
I don't even know you.
My name's John Brown. It's most urgent, Senorita. My mother is dying in Monterey. I must go to her.
Your mother? Or is it a young lady? Or could it be the American Commander Stockton you wish to join?
And if it was, what would you say?
Viva!
Thank you.
No, stop! I did not say you could have my horse.
I'm taking him anyway.
You steal my horse, I'll scream for my brother.
You make a sound and I'll steal your clothes, too.
Arriba los manos. Ringo, eh?
Yes.
Catch you red-handed. Stealing my sister's horse.
Just swapping, senor. My horse went lame. I must get to Monterey. It's a matter of life and death.
You make me weep, senor. Liar. I call your people thief. Puerco.
Take your horse.
Keep your hands up.
You can't detain me. I've done nothing.
You're Americano. That's enough.
Just a trapper.
Me you cannot trap.
If I was a soldier, I'd be in uniform.
If you were a spy, you would have none. You know the penalty for spies?
I've got no papers. See? I wasn't lying. The reason I don't carry any matches, those cigarettes are poison.
Por Dios. Puerco. Cállate la boca. Bring the horses. We will lock him in the storehouse on the ranch till I report to the authorities.
How soon will that be?
When I'm good and ready. Hombre.
Men, I'm sorry to have had to cut your rations again. They were scant enough, God knows, but I had no choice. We've held out this long. We won't give up now. Brown's been gone over 4 days now.
Should be nearing Monterey. If.
Yes. Yes, the big if.
Here's my horse, and here's your food. And here are your cigarettes that I rescued.
Thank the Lord.
Hurry.
Carlotta.
Hurry. Any moment my brother may discover us.
Carlotta, why are you doing this?
Quien sabe? Perhaps it is because I like the Americanos. Or perhaps it is because I believe the bearer.
Me, you always. Where can I find Commodore Stockton?
He's not here.
Not here?
He sailed for San Francisco 2 days ago.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm the alcalde of Monterey, William Colton. Can I help you?
My message is for Stockton. Mexicans have seized Los Angeles. They surrounded our garrison. Gillespie's holding out, hard-pressed. He needs reinforcements.
When did this happen?
The attack? September the 20th. I left on the 24th.
You rode from Los Angeles to Monterey in less than 5 days?
I had some delays. How much farther is San Francisco?
150 miles. You'd better stay here tonight.
I gotta be pushing on.
At least have something to eat.
A bowl of strong coffee, maybe.
Come inside.
Can you give me a fresh mount?
A fresh mount? Man, we'll give you a racehorse.
Stockton.
I'm Commodore Stockton.
Los Angeles. Garrison. Besieged. Send help.
What's that?
Send help.
He's collapsed from exhaustion, sir. Been in the saddle all night, most likely.
6 days.
6 days?
All the way from Los Angeles.
Impossible, sir. No one could make such a ride in 6 days.
Wait a minute. It says cigarette paper.
Believe the bear. Signed, Gillespie. Get someone to carry him inside.
Sentry, get a couple of men, quickly.
I'll order Captain Mervine to sail at once on the warship Savannah with a force of men to rescue Los Angeles.
Good news.
I thought that would revive you.
Good news is a tonic, sir.
Miss Rest here to get your strength back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for the service you've done your country.
The history books tell the rest. Commodore Stockton's reinforcements joined up with Army troops under General Stephen Kearny and won a decisive victory. Los Angeles was saved for the United States, thanks to the 450-mile ride of California's Paul Revere.
ড্রেস চেঞ্জ করতেছিস? চেঞ্জ করিস না, চল একটা টিকটক বানাই। টিকটক? হ্যাঁ টিকটক, চল। স্যার নর্মাল আছে প্রেশার, নিচেরটা 80, উপরটা আছে 120। ঠিক।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
খামটা দে।
স্যার এটা কি আশ্চর্য দেখছিস, 1000 টাকা দিল প্রেশার মারতে। তাও তুই জানিস উনি কে? উনি শহরে অনেক বড় ধনী লোক। এমন কোনো মসজিদ মাদ্রাসা নাই যে উনি দান করেন নাই। এমনকি আমাদের এই হাসপাতালও ওনার চ্যারিটি হেল্প ছিল।
ও ভালো লোক।
ড্রেস চেঞ্জ করতেছিস? চেঞ্জ করিস না, চল একটা টিকটক বানাই। টিকটক? হ্যাঁ টিকটক, চল। ঠিক আছে, এই ড্রেসটা পরবো, এটা পর।
আমার সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না। কি কইতেছেন আপনি? কি কইতেছেন?
গায়াত দিবেন কেন?
গায়াত দিও মানে এ বড় গায়াত দিলে কি করবে? একদম গায়াত
করতেছেন। তুই করতেছিস। তুই গায়াত দিলে আমি আজকে শেষ করব। তুই টাকা দে, আমার টাকা দে।
ওরে আজকে বই
না কোন রাস্তার মধ্যে আইছেন ভাই? এই এই আপনি কারে করছেন? হ্যাঁ
আরে ভাই আপনারে কই নাই, আমার কল দিছিলাম, এই কল রিসিভ করতেছ না, ওরে কইছি।
আমারে কোন মানে? এই আপনি নামেন তো, নামেন। আমি যাব না, আমি যাব না। আপনি কি কইতেছেন? হ্যাঁ
আপনি যাইবেন না কেন?
না আমি যাব না। আপনি আপনি নামেন, আমার টাকা দেন, আমি যাইগা।
দেমু না টাকা, আমারে না নিয়ে গেলে আমি ভাড়া দেমু না।
আরে আপনি কখন থেকে এই অলি করতেছেন? আপনার আমার সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না, একদমই সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না। আপনি টাকা দেন, আমি যাইগা।
আমার সুবিধার লোক মনে হইতেছে না। কি কইতেছেন আপনি? কি কইতেছেন?
গায়াত দিছেন কেন?
গায়াত দিও মানে এ বড় গায়াত দিলে কি করবে? একদম গায়াত
করতেছেন। তুই গায়াত দিলে আমি আজকে শেষ করব। তুই টাকা দে, আমার টাকা দে।
ওরে আজকে বই
মোটরসাইকেল করে নিয়ে যেতেছেন ভাই। এটা আমার মালিকের মোটরসাইকেল ভাই। ভাই মোটরসাইকেল নিয়ে যান না।
গাড়ি থামলো কেন?
স্যার একটা অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট হয়েছে।
ভাই ভাই আমার একটু বাঁচান
স্যার,
ভাই।
পেটে তো ছুরি।
মনে হচ্ছে চিনতে কে?
হসপিটালে নিয়ে যান ভাই।
স্যার হসপিটালে নিয়ে যাব?
আরে পাগল হইছো? এত রাতে থানা পুলিশের ঝামেলা কে যাবে? চালাও গাড়ি।
স্যার যে অবস্থা, মনে হয় না বাবু।
ভাই যায়েন না ভাই। ও ভাই আমার একটু হসপিটাল।
Chắc chắn là bằng là làm đậu im dấu rồi. Ê, nó không báo. Thằng bắt thanh toán Netflix. Sao bắt thanh toán Netflix rồi à? Chôn bố à? Kinh. Em muốn tư vấn kiểu gì vậy? À. Nhiều khi mình ngọc. Ôi kìa. Cứ đỗ mà đi à? Cút thằng Ken này vào đây là tôi chờ phải dọn lại một quân Kindred rồi là sinh ra vậy. Đúng rồi. Vẫn hay rồi xong thắng. Vẫn là hay thì chịu của bên trọng tú đi. Vẫn là hay. Vẫn là bút tốc độ đi. À cái gì về đây đấy? Lag à? Lag rồi này. Bút lúc cuối chơi lag rồi. Bạch này. Anh phải chơi thế nào? Biết cũng đéo ấy. Tao đi nhầm đâu. Đi ngồi đéo đây. Nó đéo cho trước đi. Ngáo cái chút. Mấy anh cứ spam chết thôi mà em cũng hiểu vị trí. Đây rồi. Nga. Mày kinh. Mày ghê. Mày to. Mày ghê. À đào tạo cái gì? Đào tạo việc ấy. Em biết không? Ui khỏe đấy. 7 xuất sắc về hại. Trên này. Và nó bắt làm như nhân viên bị nhiều kinh nghiệm gì. Không ra cái gì chuột cua. Xét đâu. Ngon. Từ bắt mình xin ngon đi. Không, bị mất. Thấy chưa? Bị ôm. Chôn à? Mày chôn bố. Mày chôn tao. Anh bay sử bình chỉ linh đấy, anh bay nhanh tiết. Xong rồi. Ui có cái đồ. Ui oan sự đẹp. Thằng em nam xong luôn vậy. Quỷ mấy build nè, đéo hiểu. Mà 10 tiếng ngày gì? Yes. Yes. Đừng dừng lại, đứng ra là cái đừng dừng nữa. Có panorama mà tôi để xoay ra ấn lại, xoay cho này một ấn là cái ấn hắc ám đi, mà ra xét vậy. Anh có quan tâm nhạc đâu? Anh và anh quan tâm nhạc đâu? Ông ơi, anh vào anh quan tâm là anh có đúng form hay không thôi. Nhạc nhủng nháo ấy. Gì? Mày ngoan không? Thua không? Thua rồi. Đi rồi, top 5 ạ. Trốn thế. Tiền rác, nhỏ tiền rác cái chuyện. 137 tỷ. 137 toại. Cho bố đi. Mày có mất tiền không? Mày có này khám mày có mất tiền không? Đi khám mày có mất tiền không? Hai thằng lật bèo chứ nhỏ. Đéo em bảo gì? Đéo em bảo gì chứ đéo. Đi đéo em bảo thanh. Đéo em bảo thanh toán. Đéo em bảo thanh toán. Trốn chứ chịu được. Sao ra cái con dấu gì ở đây này? Phải cút đây. Confirm. Yes. Có thể ra dồn chứng khác. Yes, chứng xịn cho này. Legendary của thầy. Ui, ra legend à? Ra legend đấy. Ok em rồi. Rồi em ơi. Vui. Tí nữa thì tí nữa thì mua. Thế này thì xin nhốt. Làm sao? Ui bê làm sao? Trừ một chế. Đấy, đứt dây rồi, đứt dây. Mày đấy, anh vẫn giữ. Thế à? Tôi đéo gì nhỉ? Tôi đéo ra cái gì ạ? Chôn tao. Từ anh trai phải dừng lại, em buộc cái ghế vào Vũ ơi. Buộc ghế của anh cút rồi. Rồi quay 10 con đéo ra cái gì, chôn tao. 10 con toàn ra cái này ạ, cút, xóa hết. Xóa cho bố. Chứng chỉ gì không? What the hell? Rồi, coi gì xuống đấy rồi. Yes. 100 triệu làm cái khác. Yes. Ghê vậy thầy. Bao nhiêu rồi? 2 tiếng chưa thầy tắt thì ở đấy đấy. 56 à? Chưa được. Một thêm 4 này. Thôi thầy đứng quay cho nó đấy. Đứng quay một chữ ấy, ghế ở đây gì rồi. Này cái dây khác. Khổ quá. Rồi xong, ngồi lại đi. Ai đừng tấn được vui. Ghế gãy rồi. Ghế gì không sao, tấn quay cam phải xa phết gì nữa. Đúng ấy là đúng gì không kiểu? Đúng ấy là đúng cái gì? Phòng kế toán các kiểu gì? Tuấn cũng là công ty mà vô. Tại mà anh làm cho công ty mà. Anh cũng làm cho công ty mà yêu. Chả đúng giờ nhớ ơi. Content mà. Làm cho công ty content mà. Nhưng mà làm nhân viên nhưng mà trả lương theo phải cách là phải dục. phải anh phải gọi điện hoặc Tuấn bảo anh gọi điện thì sục nó đi để nó nói với cả ông anh kia. Còn phải bảo thế mà gì. Chuẩn không gọi. Trời Khôi mày có lép đây là ngày nào không hiểu. Mày có lép đây ngày nào không hiểu không? Gì. Sẽ kim lắc đây. Sẽ kim lắc đây à? Vừa sẽ kim lắc đây. Chỉ có bọn bà mấy bà hay tập phần sân dưới ấy. Đó, mấy bà tập sân dưới rồi. Mấy cái máy nhưng mà bên kiểu cơ trên tay vai nhịp các kiểu ấy, có bà nào ở đấy đâu. Thỉnh thoảng có bà trong công tạ. Mấy bài đứng, mấy cái bài đứng ở gương lâu quá. Gương lâu yếu chịu được. Số chó. Để hiểu. Ủa hôm qua không, nó chỉ xoay gương nó nhìn lại cơ của nó thôi, xoay gương nhìn cơ. Hôm qua tao đang tập có ông Đô Phết xong rồi ra cái chỗ phái máy tập cơ lát ấy ở lưng ấy, ông ấy đứng ở có cái đấy ôi gương to ông ấy cởi áo trên cởi áo ra xoay nhìn lưng Đô đéo chịu được. Chịu rồi. lại thành en fitness thì thua.